Hi, everyone, dear patrons and YouTubers. We are live, and in this live stream, we're going to look at a bunch of things. Actually, I had a bunch of questions about Chopin. So, we're going to look at the 3 versus 2 rhythms in the Fantaisie Impromptu, how to put that together. As well as certain articulations in Chopin, like in the Andante Spianato, that kind of thing there. And a little question I had also in our last masterclass about the octaves in the Polonaise, the heroic Polonaise. And this is going to be really quick, short videos today, as well as a little invitation for the masterclass on Sunday. I also have a concert this Saturday, and just going to run through a little piece here. I'm going to play for you Debussy, Clair de Lune. Okay, so this is for probably going to be just for everyone who's watching live and the patrons. So I'm going to start with that. All right, without further ado, Clair de Lune by Claude Debussy. Hi, Anna Martins. Okay, here we go. You guys all know this one. Oh, and by the way, I had some amazing work done on this piano. And it's really, I'm really, really happy with it. It's really what I wanted to do with this instrument. I feel like we've brought it from, your typical, what seems like a $4,000, $3,000 piano. It's worth that, to something that I find better than a lot of other instruments, and have a lot of fun playing. So okay, here's a little Debussy for you. I have to hit record here. I'm happy I remembered to do that. I just told myself like 10 times to remember to hit record so I don't have to film the film the stream after. Okay. Sorry about that, everyone. Here is a little Debussy. Clair de Lune is your favorite song. Awesome. Okay, here we go. There we have a little Debussy Clair de Lune. Hey, I actually managed to switch the camera a few times. Did you see that? Okay. Oh, Tim is here. Hi, Tim. Depressed Weeb. Rafaela Prandi. Hi, everyone. I'd really like to hear Arabesque number 1. That's what I'm studying now. Okay. I did a video on Arabesque number 1. Maybe check that out for now. Maybe we'll come back to that. I'm always coming back to the same pieces. We're going to talk a little bit about a few questions I had in the masterclass and that came up in a few lessons this week, which were all Chopin related. You know, I guess that's what people are playing the most all the time is Chopin, Fantaisie Impromptu, and the Heroic Polonaise, and some Nocturnes and things like that. So we're going to talk about that. I'm thinking these are going to be really quick videos today. That might be important. So give me a second here. Okay. How do I mute this? Hello. Give me 1 second because I'm live streaming and I don't know how to mute everything. Hold on a second. Is everything okay? Have you landed? Okay, good. Super. You're still going to Drummondville? Okay. I think so. I mean, I texted. I didn't get an answer yet. Let me just check. Yeah, I don't have an answer, so I'm assuming it's okay. Okay, let's talk soon, okay? I love you too. Okay, bye, baby. Okay, sorry, everyone. Sometimes you just gotta pick up, you know? Okay, so all right, so let's get into that. Number 1, we're gonna do the 3 versus 2. Okay, 3 versus 2, Fantaisie Impromptu, and how do we put it together? Okay, that's a question I'm being asked very often. Is, you know, in this Fantaisie Impromptu, if you don't already know it, we have triplets in the left hand. Let's pull out the score, okay? Triplets in the left hand, and 4 is actually a 4 versus 2, right? Here's the score, okay? We can make that a little more legible because we're only going to be doing a little part of this today. Okay, so triplets in the left hand, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. If we start here, okay, this is what we're going to work on. 1, 2, 3. So let's count this. How about 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And in the right hand, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So everyone always asks, how do I practice this? Because it sounds like this. and it's very unstable. And how do I get that to a faster speed? How do I work on it? Okay, everyone is always working in the micro kind of, intellectually, oh, this note lines up exactly with that one. That's good to know, okay? You know that you do need to know that these two are together, right? Right here, the ones on the beats are always going to be together, at least know that. And of course, you're going to look through this intellectually at some point and say, okay, find out where all the notes line up, okay? Like for example, oh, this C sharp is right before this. Good. I'm sure you've already done that, okay? But here's the part that I think just about everyone is missing in being able to do this. You're not going to be able to flow through this if you're looking at now together this kind of thing, right? You're going to get it by doing something like this. 1, 2, we'll put this in 2, 1 and 2. Repeat that over again so you feel the pulse. 2, 1 and 2, and then start doing the same thing in the right hand. So 1, 2, 1, 2. Yes, repeat it again and again and again. That wasn't good. 1, 2. So you feel that pulse, and then eventually you start doing something that looks like this: 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, again and again, so you get into that kind of, feel the pulse. Maybe it even gets a little hypnotic at some point. Once you've done that, once you feel that pulse, feeling the pulse is very important here. 1, 2, 1, 2, alternating. 2, 1, 2. Then just do it. 1, 2, 1, 2. Now you're working procedurally. You might not even know how you did it, and that's fine. 1, 2. But I promise you, if you work on it like that, you'll be a little surprised. You'll be like, hey, I actually got it. But I didn't think about how my third triplet came right after this, second 16th note. It doesn't matter. You have to work on both things, both in the intellectual side of it, the math, knowing, okay, these notes line up here. Here, these ones are together because they're on the beats, right? And then work in a more procedural way. Just feel it. Do this. Feel the pulse. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and then just go without thinking about it. 1, 2. You'll be very surprised at what you're able to do. Now, this is mainly about Fantaisie Impromptu, but what if we have a more complicated rhythm here? Like, are we done with this Fantaisie Impromptu? I think that's really it, okay? Don't worry so much about 1, 2, da-da-dee-da-da. It's too small. You're better to take a big thing, And then after that, you can do 1, 2 and 1, 2 and 1, and 2 and 1. There's the right hand is not playing on the first beats, but you get the idea. You're always taking half the bar from the first beat to the third beat, or from the third beat to the first beat, or 1, 2, because this is in 2, yeah? Okay, I'm going to show you another example of this. All right, this is the Nocturne Opus 9, number 3. Okay, this one here. Nocturne Opus 9, number 3. Okay, and we're gonna stay in this one for the next segment as well. Now you have some funky rhythms here, right? 5 versus 3. You have that here, right? 5 versus 3. Why don't we put that in blue? There we go. There's our 5 versus 3 here. So again, you can look at here, we already drew the lines, as you can see. Intellectually, yes, this F should come like right before that E, and then this third note of the triplet should go right after that fourth note of the quintuplet. This is true. This is true. But you're not going to really learn how to flow through it if you're always practicing like this. Everything is correct. Everything is in the right place. How do you get from that to you? How do you get to there? It's the exact same thing. We're going to take from this beat to this beat, okay? So in this case, we're going from the first beat to the middle of the bar, just like we did in Fantaisie Impromptu, okay? We could do the whole bar, but I think this will suffice. So, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Alternate from one hand to the other. So you feel that 1, 2, 3, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1. You can also do probably if you're having a hard time doing that last step, just start out with this. 1, 2, 3, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1. 1, 2, 3, 1. The pulse is steady, but you're counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1. Okay? Now, you do that alternating between the triplets, 1, 2, 3, 1, and the quintuplets back and forth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1. So you feel that pulse, just like we did in the Fantaisie Impromptu. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1. You can even do it with metronome, maybe even a better idea. And then it should just go together. You will not know exactly, that second note of the triplet went right before the third note of the quintuplet. Doesn't matter. You don't have to know everything at the same time. So you have the intellectual side, which note lines up with which. Good to know. Then you have to forget it after you know it, because in order to proceed and execute the passage, there's a limit to how much you can do and feel and hear if you're thinking. So all this intellectual stuff, that's true. You have to forget it after and come back to this. Okay, then same thing for the second half of that bar. 1, 2, 3, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1. 1, 2, 3, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1. Eventually, you might work on this, the whole bar. So 1, 2, 1. 1, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 2, 4, 5, 1. Same thing. We're going the whole bar. Still feeling that pulse. And then okay. And we'll leave the rest for another video. So, this is how to work on complex rhythms like 3 verses 4, 3 verses 2, or 3 verses 5, doesn't matter. Find the big beats and then cycle between left hand, right hand. It's always left to right, right? Cycle back and forth until you feel that pulse. You can turn on a metronome as well and then just put it together. And that let me know how that works. I think you'll be very surprised. When you come to my masterclass, we'll work on exactly this. And we have a masterclass coming up this Sunday, December 5th at 2 p.m. Eastern Time is our next masterclass. Call it a Zoom get-together. You don't have to play. Some people play. Some people ask a few questions. We had our very first masterclass a week and a half ago. It was really exciting. I had a few of my students there. We also had someone from New York, South Africa, Quebec here, Ottawa as well. So if you want to join the masterclass, there's a link in the description, stephenmassicotte.ca/masterclass. I send an email invite with the Zoom link to everyone. So fill out the form so I have your email and I know you're interested, and I will send you an invite Sunday at 2 p.m. That's where we're going to be. It's not live, it's not streamed, but maybe one day we will do this streamed. So fill out the form, click on the link in the description, fill out the form so you can get an invite for Sunday, and stay tuned as well for when the following masterclasses are going to be. Now, let's go into something else a little here. Let me just check on the stream and the chat. NG, hi NG, love birds. Love birds. That's important for musicality. Be happy together. Oh yeah, the phone call, yes. Okay. That's almost embarrassing. No, that's okay. Luke Torres. Hi, Luke. Yes, same tip for Fantasy Opus 49. Which one is that? I can't remember. Which pieces are you using for the class? Tim, is that the master class you're talking about or this live stream? We don't have specific pieces for the class at this point, but we might start doing that, yeah? Okay, next, let's talk a little bit about articulating things in Chopin's music, okay? We're going to go right off the bat with this nocturne as well as the not the Fantaisie Impromptu, I'm sorry, the Andante Spianato and Grand Polonaise. But it doesn't matter. We can take mazurkas as well. You'll see this kind of thing all over the place in Chopin's music. Can I erase this so we start over here? Okay, see that staccato. Okay, he put a staccato, and strangely enough, he put pedal, but he did take the time to put a rest here, and there's a wedge here in this edition. You know, again, with a pedal like this. So, most pianists will not take this literally, and I think this can be done tastefully either way. So if you don't take it literally, you leave the pedal down, and you just look at that articulation as, well, he just put that staccato and rest, because that's how you should feel it. And now we have this kind of thing again here, right? There's a pedal here, and they specifically wrote a staccato. So here he put a dotted quarter and no rest, yeah? No rest there. Interesting. So sometimes he put it, sometimes he didn't. So usually that sounds like that. Okay, I'm here to suggest to you today that sometimes you can literally do those staccatos like this. There was another one right there. Here. All right, so how do you do that? Okay, we're going to look at a little how to practice this, because I think that adds something to the music. Did you hear the subtle difference between if we don't do it here, if we don't do that little, this little staccato and put a little space between the E sharp and the F? If we don't do it, it sounds like this. If we do it, it just gave a little more definition to that note. So these are subtle refinements, I think, for more advanced students, okay? And we're going to look at how to do that. I'm going to give you another example first. Maybe we'll look at how to do it in here. This is the Andante Spianato. Oh, I only have the cover page. That's not what I wanted. Do I do a little editing here, or we just go with a nocturne? Let's go with a nocturne, okay, for how to practice this, and I'll just explain a little bit by memory the Spianato Grand Polonaise. You have this all over the place. That's the same thing. And he puts a little rest after. And then you have again to here. Okay, so let's stick to the beginning because I don't have the score. I think it sounds really interesting like that. And a lot of pianists who don't refine to that point, they won't do it. So they'll sound like this. Right? Instead of... So how do we do those things? How do we practice those things? Okay? let's go to the Nocturne first because we have the score. What I would ask you to do is just start by going like this. You're playing the two notes, holding the one in the left hand and letting go of the one in the right hand. That's it. The next step after that is to put the pedal after you've released the right hand and then raise the left hand. So you should look like this. If you put the pedal too early. So it's play, release, pedal, and then you can release this. This is really slow motion. You're playing this very short, and as soon as you've released, after you've played that staccato, then you can put the pedal, and you get that. So really in the score, what's different, it's like we're putting this pedal a fraction of a second late. You're putting it just after you've played that B and after you've released this note here. That's what we're doing with this, right? And then you can go like this. So the B stays in the pedal. This is the complication of these things, is that you don't want to lose this note in the pedal. It should stay. That's why he wrote the pedal in the first place, I think, was an indication that the bass notes should stay, right? They're important. Instead of, how would I do that? No, we want the B in the bass. Right? So, how about this one? That's the same thing. So, practice really slowly. No pedal. Play the two notes. Release the right hand, but hold the left hand. Step 2, same thing. Put the pedal, and then release the left hand. So you should get that. Only the left hand remains in the pedal. And then the rest should be easy. Same thing in that andante spianato. Practice that. You play the two at the same time. Release the right hand. The right hand is staccato. Left hand you hold. You can even go do the whole phrase like that. Okay. Next step is to be able to release that left hand, but still have the E flat in the pedal without this A. If you get the A, you put the pedal too early before you released this. And there you have it. Excuse me for that. Happens all the time. I don't know why. It only happens when I'm streaming or teaching. Okay, so there we have it. Give me a moment. Gosh. Sorry, guys. Okay, so that's a little Chopin articulation thing. And you'll see it, you'll find it a lot in mazurkas as well, and really all of his music. Okay, which brings me to the last segment here, which was a question in the Masterclass on Sunday. In the Polonaise means we're talking about that heroic Polonaise, this one here. All right. Go back a few pages here. Yes, this one here. And. Okay, but the question specifically is not in the beginning. I think it's the most asked question in here is, how to play those octaves in this part in the left hand, right? That's a challenge. So I'm going to give you a little tip. I've already done a video on this. This one's a really quick one today, but just something one thing I want you to pay attention to, okay, in this short video is the difference between this one and this one. Because of the positioning of the black keys, the wheel that you make is not the same, okay? The wrist is going to be naturally higher on the black keys. That means from the B to the E, the wrist is down. Ta-yum, ta-yum. So here your wrist is going like this, and here your wrist is going like this, right? Ta-yum. You're down and going like over, so you're higher up, wrist is higher up on the black keys, okay? So that gives you this circular motion, which will prevent you from being tense and give you better endurance in this. Now the next one is different. We had... it's exactly the difference. We had white, black, black, white, white, black, black, white, white, black, black, white, white. Now we have black, white, white, black, black, white, white, black, black, right? They're different. We got it the other way around here. And in this case, same thing. The wrist is higher on the black keys. That hasn't changed. So you're down here, and you're going up to get from the B flat to the E flat. So up and down. Up, down, up, down, up, down. Whereas this one was down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, rather. So you see that? Is that clear? This one, down and up. We're going like this. And this one is the opposite. You're down in the middle and up when you're transitioning. So if we just draw that out here. Where do we get that? Yada-dee-da-dee-da-dum. Here, we're going to be up here and going down for those. That's the wrist. Yeah, the wrist is, that's where how the wrist looks. So the circular motion is there both in this one and in the other one, but it's the opposite, right? One of them has a circular motion like this. Watch this. Watch this wrist here, okay? And the other one, or in the more simple way, one of them goes like this. Sorry. And the other one goes up, and this one down. Okay, that should help you on your journey to learn the heroic Polonaise with those rather complicated left-hand octaves. You can check out the other video if you want to find more tips and tricks, and check out the abundance of videos on it also on YouTube. And more importantly, come to my masterclass and, just ask me and we'll have a chat about it. Masterclass is open to anyone. If you want to receive an invite, just fill out the link in the description, stephenmassicotte.ca/masterclasses. It's a get-together. You don't have to play. Some people play. Some people just sit and watch. You can even just pop in and say hi. So that's it, everyone. Happy practicing. And this is the end of our stream here as well. So back to the chat here. Hi, Scott. You put 4 on black keys here or 5 only? Oh, yeah. Okay. I put 4 on the black keys. Okay, that seems just natural to me. I usually put 4 on the black keys with octaves. Not everyone does that. Some people put 5/5 and feel that it sounds better. I tend to find that 4 on a black key for an octave, if you have big enough hands, is really the best way to go. If you have really big hands, you might even put 3 sometimes on black keys. So I'm a big fan of putting 3 and 4 on the black keys. Okay, Take care, everyone. See you at the Masterclass on Sunday. Fill out the form. Click the link in the description if you want to get an invite. It's at 2 p.m. This Sunday, December 4th. And peace out. Happy practicing. Until next time, ciao.